Hey everyone, welcome back to Travel Award Search. Today we're doing a full review of United Polaris Business Class on the Boeing 777-200, flying from Houston Intercontinental to Munich, Germany. We booked 2 seats in business class for just 80,000 United miles and only $5.60 per person. That's right, just $5.60 each. And here's the kicker. It also included an onward flight to Brussels on Brussels Airways, which was also in business class. We'll talk more about that later in the video. But first, let's talk about the experience itself. Before we even got to the gate, we stopped into the United Polaris Lounge at Houston Intercontinental. If you're flying Polaris, you have access to the lounge. It's definitely one of the better domestic lounges in the country. The food spread was impressive. A full salad bar with multiple greens, toppings, and dressings. A dedicated topping station with beets, pickled onions, yuck, spiced chickpeas, croutons, and a protein section with shrimp, artichoke salad, grain bowls, gazpacho shots. They also offer hot options like salmon in a cast iron skillet and braised pork. It really was a very nice buffet. A fun thing they had was a Godiva chocolate experience with 3 special chocolates crafted for the centennial. It was a really nice touch, and they go very well with champagne or red wine or whatever else you want to drink in the Polaris Lounge. Now onto the flight. The aircraft was the Boeing 777-200. It's a workhorse for United on transatlantic routes. It's configured in a 1-2-1 layout, so every passenger has direct aisle access, which is really important, especially on an overnight flight. Our seats were in the center of row 4. They face slightly away from each other with a shared divider that you can raise or lower, which is really nice if you're traveling with a companion. You can have it lowered so you can chat with each other, or have it raised if one's watching TV and one wants to sleep. The rows do alternate with other seats that do not face away from each other. Next time I would actually choose those. It allows you to be a little bit closer together. At each seat when you board, you'll find the full Polaris bedding package, a Saks Fifth Avenue duvet, a large pillow, a day pillow, and also a small mattress pad. These are all really soft, although I have to say I miss the super silky Saks Fifth Avenue duvet that United used to have, but these were still very nice. It really amounts to hotel quality bedding at 35,000 feet. The seat controls are very intuitive, which is important. I've had some that are not. You've got a lot of preset positions for upright, lounge, full flat, and individual adjustments. There's also a do not disturb button. The side console has a power outlet, a USB port, the remote for the entertainment system, and the Polaris mood light, which is kind of nice. It makes it feel a little more intimate. In the side storage cubby, there's noise canceling headphones. They're very nice. The amenity kit and a water bottle. The headphones have really good noise cancellation and pretty comfortable fit for the long flight. The amenity kit is a special 100th anniversary edition. It's got a faux leather pouch, Paracone MD skincare, the typical lip balm, face cream, mist, cleansing wipe, plus socks, an eye mask, a dental kit, earplugs, and a pen. So it was nice. They also provided slippers, which are really important to me. It's very nice for going to the bathroom in the evening rather than just having on socks. There's also plenty of legroom in the footwell. Kick off your shoes, put your feet up, and get ready to cross the Atlantic. Now let's talk about the food. United provides a printed menu card, which is nice because it makes the whole experience feel a little more elegant and lets you muse about the different choices. Even before takeoff, we were offered champagne or water. You know what I chose. And shortly afterward, the crew came with warm mixed nuts and beverages. And this was certainly a good way to get started. The wine list is really good, so let me take a minute to mention some of them. The champagne was Laurent Perrier La Cuve Brut, Whispering Angel Rosé from Côte de Provence, and a Vega Sicilia Tempranillo from Rioja. They were all excellent. It tells you something about how serious United is about providing a good experience. Dinner was delicious. The appetizer course arrived as a trio of small plates with artisan bread. There was smoked salmon with capers, pickled red onions, and lemon. There was a baby kale salad with pickled Brussels sprouts, endive, and smoked almonds, and also marinated mozzarella, mixed olives, and a roasted pepper hummus. It really was a delicious and elegant starter and very artfully presented. Now for the main course, it was really good, but both my husband and I ate it before we got a picture of it. I had the chicken breast, which was absolutely delicious. My husband had the pan-roasted halibut, and he said that was also excellent. For dessert, I had the lemon tart with raspberry coulis and fresh berries. Of course, I already took a bite before I took this picture. You'll see this theme throughout. The menu also had a Polaris sundae. I managed to resist having both of them, but it looked really good. The in-flight entertainment system is a really strong point. The screen is very large, it's responsive, very sharp, and the content is pretty extensive. There's a solid mix of new releases, and there's also some exclusive content from United. There's even a VIK virtual wine tasting experience on there. I didn't try it, but it sounds like it would be very interesting. And for families, the kids section is also well stocked with a lot of good shows for children. It did not, however, have any kind of a flight camera in the front, which is something my husband always enjoys. The all-important portion on a transatlantic flight is how did we sleep? And the answer is really well. The fully lie-flat bed is a game changer, along with the mattress pad and the nice bedding. We probably got a good 5 or 6 hours of sleep. About 90 minutes before landing, the breakfast service began. I had the cream cheese scrambled eggs with pork sausage, roasty potatoes, and roasted tomato. Here you can see at least part of it. It came along with fresh fruit, yogurt, a croissant, and coffee. This was a nice, complete hot breakfast, which was a good way to end the flight. Clem has been a little upset that she hasn't been featured in videos lately, so she's going to help us out again with summarizing the key points. Ready, Clem? The lounge we rate with 4.5 stars. The Polaris Lounge is one of the better pre-flight experiences in the U.S., has great food, quality drinks. I failed to mention, actually, there's even a restaurant that you can sit down and order in. We did not do that this time. The only thing I'd say is it was extremely crowded in there. The seat and storage we rate 4.5. The 1-2-1 layout is great with the direct aisle access. The seat is good, although not as large as ANA's The Room and some of the other offerings, but it was very comfortable, functional, and importantly, fully flat, so it resulted in a very good night's sleep. It also had very nice bedding accompanying it. Food and beverage, we're going to rate 4 3/4. We were really impressed. The food was excellent. It was artfully presented. It's not often that we keep forgetting to take pictures before we finish our food. The mid-flight snacks, when I got up, there wasn't really too much there. So that's about the only downside I can say on the food and beverage. And the wine list was really pretty outstanding. The entertainment system, we're rating a 4. It had a great screen, good clarity, a pretty good library of titles. I would have actually liked to have seen some more. It was lacking a really good camera from the cockpit. Service, we also rate a 4. It was attentive, it was professional, it was respective of sleep. It was very nice. Now value, we rate 4.5. An 80,000 point redemption with just $5.60 in taxes is pretty exceptional. Overall, a solid 4.5 stars, and we would definitely recommend the experience. I promised earlier to explain a little bit more about how we booked this flight for just 80,000 miles and $5.60. So a couple notes on that. 1, we booked 6 months in advance. 2, we were flexible in our days of travel and in our destination. We were focused on seeing tulips in Amsterdam on this trip, and also the restored Notre Dame in Paris, and intended to stop in Belgium. So we searched all 3 destinations, Paris, Amsterdam, and Brussels, for days just after the April 15th tax day, and we were able to snag this flight to Brussels. United also has the advantage of charging very low taxes. Taxes, especially on some of the foreign carriers to certain locations, have gotten really high. We do prefer to have the first flight going across the Atlantic, so the long flight, with the connection in Europe. And we do that for a few reasons. First, you can get some really good sleep on the long flight, which really helps your body clock. Second, the European connection flight is also in business class. If you connect in the US and buy your ticket on miles, the first flight is almost always in economy. Third, that sequence means that you have access to the Polaris Lounge when you leave the US, as well as a business class lounge during your connection in Europe. And the fourth reason is that typically we can arrange to get to Europe in the afternoon. That allows us to do a little bit in the evening, and stay awake till a normal bedtime in order to adjust for jet lag. So that sums up our experience on United Polaris class in a 777-200 to Europe. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to give us a like or subscription. This has been Wandering Woman and Clem with Travel Award Search. As always, travel wisely, travel well. Thank you.